My Lords, I rise to speak in support of this important amendment and to endorse the serious concerns just now expressed by the noble Lord Fox and my noble friend Lord Hunter Wirral. I declare my interest as a businessman, entrepreneur and investor. My Lords, the noble Baroness O'Grady of Upper Holloway questioned the need for a stated purpose for this bill. I'm not sure what the logic is there. The most likely reason for a bill having no purpose is a lack of clarity by its sponsors as to what they're trying to achieve. And the noble Baroness Carberry of Muswell Hill complains that the list, as stated in the purpose, is non-exhaustive, which I agree with, and then somehow jumps to the conclusion that no list at all would be preferable. And again, I'm afraid the logic of that escapes me. I'm far less experienced than my noble friend, the noble Baroness Neville Rolfe, but I do feel that there's always an obvious advantage to having a purpose clause. In the case of this bill, I'm sure the government must agree that those in the future who are going to face the task of interpreting the meaning of this bill should be given as much clarity as possible through a purpose clause as to why the bill was passed, what its purpose was. Courts in the future will far prefer to have a lucid statement of what the new law sets out to accomplish, rather than being given too wide latitude and freedom to interpret the bill this way or that. So I commend the overall objective of the noble Lord Fox and hope that the amendment or similar will form part of the eventual bill. This very lengthy bill would, if passed without a purposes section, my Lords, be more open to abuses of the very extensive powers that the bill contains. This amendment will put a few appropriate, albeit modest, restraints on the ability of a government to go too far in applying these powers. To be clear, this proposed purpose clause from the noble Lord Fox is just a start, not, for me, completely satisfactory by any means. The list is indeed not exhaustive. In addition, the additional amendments would burden companies with yet another compliance code of conduct, which will just serve to send sensible non-executives screaming from the room and possibly off to Dubai. We have to let boards focus on managing their businesses, serving their customers, making sure it's a well-run business, not having to implement new compliance code after new compliance code, which will only ever be observed with lip service. My Lords, I would in addition suggest on this point of a non-exhaustive list that we wish to add, in addition to the wording that my noble friend Baroness Neville Rolfe suggested, to the list of purposes of the bill, an additional purpose of supporting, improving and not reducing flexibility in employment relationships. We will move on to the issue of flexibility in the next group of amendments, so I won't expand on that point here, but I do recommend the addition of that purpose as well as the wording proposed by my noble friend Baroness Neville Rolfe to the list that will appear in Amendment number 1, and I recommend that it do indeed be added to this bill.